Hey guys, it's Sega Camp. Now I thought I would make this video response to Kiira the Hedgehog just because I don't have just because she made this big top 5 GBA Games Advance Games, you know, Game Boy Advance. Apparently I'm not going to make a top 5 just because I only have 3 here. Plus, to make a long story short, I lost my Game Boy Advance charger, so now I can't really play games on my Game Boy Advance anymore. Trust me, I really hate to die the battery out and then after find out, oh no, I can't recharge it because I don't have a charger. Yeah. I'm getting way off topic. Let's just get down to this video. I thought I would just show Kiira the Hedgehog a few games that I actually so happen to own. Yeah, apparently I have to go put this in the list. Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 Trials to Glory. Very good game. It's actually a really good game if you're getting into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game because this one will really give you the very basics of how to actually play the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. I swear, back then when I first played the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, I had no idea how to actually play the actual card game. And then, like, I was just making up some of the rules as I went along. And then after I got this game, everything to how Yu-Gi-Oh! Started just started making sense all of a sudden. So yeah, really good game. The only thing that does kind of suck is you can't get the Egyptian God cards in this game. Even though they're not in the game, even though you can't play the Egyptian God cards, there's actually one trophy that has all the 3 Egyptian God cards on them. So yeah, the Egyptian God cards are in the game, but not like the actual playing cards. I know, it kind of sucks. But the good thing is you can still get Exodia. You can still get Exodia the Forbidden one, although it's always changes. Although every week though let's just say though, you have forbidden cards and then limited cards, which means it can only hold 1 copy. And then you got semi-limited, which means it can hold 2 copies. Everything else, you can hold up to 3 copies of the same card in your deck. And then that's pretty much it. But yeah, semi-limited, you can only hold 2 copies of that card. Limited, only 1 copy of that card. And then forbidden means you can't have any of those cards in there anyway. But you always play it by every single day. And then after a week, the whole list changes, and then afterwards, everything that's maybe forbidden becomes limited or semi-limited, and something that's limited might become forbidden. Something semi-limited might become limited, and then and the list can just keep going on and on and on. Yeah, pretty much though. It always changes every week though. The Exodia pieces always keep differing every single week. Like, one week you might be able to play them, and then another week you won't be able to, and another week you might be able to have more. Well, I actually doubt the Exodia pieces might become semi-limited. Even the same for Witch of the Black Forest and Sandcan. Sometimes they're semi-limited, and sometimes they're limited, but I never did see one week when they become forbidden. Now, well. Moving on, I thought I would talk, of course, though, The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Yes, this goes at the very beginning of the Zelda timeline. Yes, I am not putting Skyward Sword at the beginning. You guys can go kiss my ass. Okay, how about we just say I'm just not recommending it for this video, though. Only this YouTube video. Maybe later I will finally make a mention in a video and then mention that Skyward Sword goes at the very beginning of the timeline. But let's just say for now, though, Skyward Sword doesn't exist, and this game is at the very beginning of the timeline. How does it go at the beginning of the timeline, you may ask? Well, I did a video game walkthrough a long time ago when I still owned Sega Camp, and the main reason this goes at the very beginning of the timeline is it shows how it just shows how Link gets his cap. Yeah, you know how in the other Zelda games, like, here's my Ocarina of Time poster. You know how Link has his cap in every single freaking Zelda game? Well, in this one, he doesn't have his cap. Yeah, like, you see him with the green tunic, but you don't see him with the cap whatsoever in this game. Instead, he actually meets up with this person by the name of Aslo, and Aslo ends up, and Aslo, in this strange kind of world that we like to live in, Aslo is actually Link's cap, and it actually talks to him. Yeah. This game is so awesome. It's even so awesome today. If you're part of the Ambassador program, you can download it on the 3DS. So yeah, if you guys if you guys have the Ambassador program, but you did not download this, what the fuck are you guys doing? Get this freaking game. It is awesome. Yeah. Now the next game I do have to recommend is yeah, I know. Right away for you guys, I know. Remake, remake, remake. Why a remake? Well, it's Super Mario Advance 2 Super Mario World. To the best of my knowledge, there had to be 4 Super Mario Advance games. I think the first... To the best of my knowledge, I know Super Mario Advance 3 had to be on Yoshi's Island, which was Super Mario World 2, and then Super Mario Advance 4 was also on Super Mario Brothers 3. I could be wrong, but I think the first Super Mario Advance game was on the original Mario Brothers. I actually don't know. I never did own it, nor did I actually hear about it. But yeah, pretty much so, like I said, the third is on Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, and the fourth is on Super Mario Brothers 3. So yeah, that's kind of weird. But yeah, I do recommend this version because it's a little better than the original Super Nintendo remake. Like, one thing, I'm just having a brain fart here. Okay, when you're going through Bowser's Castle, to the best of my knowledge, it's actually a little more different now. Like, even the final fight against Bowser is different now in the Game Boy Advance version. Usually, though, to the best of my knowledge, in the Super Nintendo version, you only have 400 seconds to get through the whole castle, and then once you finally get to Bowser, you don't have the big display on the top of the screen anymore. Basically, though, you're just having one final fight against Bowser, and then that's pretty much it. Like not even about partway through the fight, the timer display or anything on the top of the screen, like you do in the previous stages, reappear. But the Game Boy Advance version, though, instead of having 400 seconds to get through the whole castle, you have 800 seconds, and once you finally reach Bowser, you only see it for like a few seconds, and the screen is just blank for like a few seconds, and then finally the score and the time limit and the display finally show up on the top of the screen. I know right away some people might be pissed off and be like, what the fuck? I just went right through the whole castle and I still have to fight Bowser against a time limit? What? Like, I know some people might be a little pissed off if they notice that after playing it on the Super NES and then finally switching to the Game Boy Advance version, just to find out that you're going there through it in 800 seconds, and once you finally beat Bowser, you're still beating him against a time limit. I know that's kind of stupid, but I don't really care. I kind of like it that way too. At least so now, though, you can finally, if you still have an extra item in that display box above you, you can still use it while fighting Bowser. Because that was the only downside to fighting him. That was the only downside in the Super Nintendo version. You did not have that display box at the top of the screen. So you better be glad that at least for the Game Boy Advance remake, you can still use that display box that you have right on top of the screen when you're going against Bowser. That's pretty much it, basically. And as well, though, the better part about the Game Boy Advance remake is it saves your lives. Yeah, you know how in the original Super Nintendo version you save and then you quit and then you come back and find out that you start off with 5 lives? Yeah, that kind of sucks. This version saves all the lives you collected so far in the game, and then once you finally quit and then come back to it, you still have the number of lives that you start off with last time. That's actually a little better. I think that's pretty much it. I really wish I could talk about Zelda: A Link to the Past for the Game Boy Advance, but I don't have that. Yeah, again though, that game is a little better than the original Super Nintendo version as well, because you could go right through the end. There's this secret dungeon you could go through in the Game Boy Advance. A remake of it, but you can't find it in the Super Nintendo version, which kind of sucks though. I wish I had it now, because I never did play the only version I own is just the Super Nintendo version on my Wii Virtual Console. That's about it. I know. I'm getting the shorter end of the stick for A Link to the Past. I'm getting way off topic now talking about that game. Oh well. Anyway though, I'll see you guys later.